Hello, my friends. This is Mr. X today. Legendarma has been killed, and I have come from Resident Evil right to your ridiculous Vindictus game to teach you something. Something really, really important. And that would be Ein Lacher. Prepare yourself, because you're gonna suffer, and you're gonna suffer a lot. But let's be honest, I'm not gonna scare you too much today. Hey, it's Legend over here, guys. It's great to see you. Happy Halloween. I know with the recent state of the world, with the COVID and stuff, people can't really go to the Halloween events and just enjoy themselves, enjoy this holiday. But, I just figured why not just make it, a little bit more special for all of you at home, and we have a little of Halloween on our own. This is Mr. X over here, a really cool, scary dude. Don't worry, I ain't gonna be running or walking fast after you, even though if you want to, you can always DM me on Discord, we can do that. But today we're gonna talk about Ein Lacher, and in particular, we're going to talk about gold medal Ein Lacher, which is quite an achievement still, especially for the new players, because it's quite punishing, and you have to adjust to the battle, and your performance has to be really, really good. So in today's video, we're going to talk about some of the tips, some of the tricks, how you can, maximize your DPS, how can you improve your performance drastically in Ein Lacher, and hopefully you will get a couple of gold medals, or maybe even more. But first, we're gonna start with a little, information, some details that Ein Lacher has. Excited? Let's go. First of all, some information about Ein Lacher. Ein Lacher is pretty much a proving grounds for any kind of player where you have to fight a boss, and depending on your performance, you're going to earn medals. There are 4 different types of medals in Ein Lacher: a no potion medal, a bronze medal, silver, and gold. In order to get the no potion medal, obviously, you have to make sure that you don't chug a single potion and defeat the boss. You get the bronze medal if you die less than 3 times in one single battle. You get silver medal if you haven't died even once. So you can get hit many times, but if you die, you're gonna lose the silver. So if you don't die, you get it. And the most prestigious one, the most good one, is the gold medal. Now, in order to score a gold medal in Ein Lacher, you have to make sure that you don't get hit during the fight more than 3 times. If you get hit more than 3 times, you lose that gold medal. Now, what's so important about Ein Lacher? Ein Lacher gives you permanent stats once you have defeated everything there. There are 43 normal battles and 27 raid battles that you have to go through and complete in order to get some really nice permanent stats. That would be 3 critical and 5 balance. Also some attack and some minor stats, depending on the titles that you're gonna gain. But 3 critical and 5 balance is the most valuable thing about Ein Lacher. So, how exactly do you approach this? You go into the board, and in the other regions you'll fight Ein Lacher. And you will have 10 battles of the day here that rotate every single day. So today is this set of battles, as you can see over here. Tomorrow it's gonna be different. And there is also, if you scroll down, there are other battles. So what's the difference? The battles that are daily, the battle of the day, you can do them infinitely. As many times you can replay them as many times as you want until you get, the result that you're focusing on. The other battles you can only do once per day. So if you fail it, or you don't get the medal that you wanted, you will have to wait until tomorrow when it resets. But the best routine, the best route here to take is to make sure that you just complete the battles of the day as much as you can with the best performance you can do, and make sure that you collect as many medals as you want. or as you can. Now, if I would give you one tip for a new player when you start playing Ein Lacher in Vindictus, don't focus on gold medals right away. Focus on at least silver medals. So make sure you don't get incapacitated once in the battle. Once you get confident enough, it actually pairs really good with the bronze medal, obviously, because your performance is going to be way better for silver medal, and no potions as well. You don't really need to chug potions. You can withstand 6, 7, 8 hits, also if you're lucky enough with the life flare, so you can score 3 medals in one go, so silver, bronze, and no potion. Make sure you do these, and you're gonna end up with +1 critical and 3 balance at the end, which is really a really nice boost from Ein Lacher, isn't it? So start with the with the silver, and once you get more confident, more you learn the patterns of each boss better, and learn your character better, you can just start challenging Ein Lacher for the gold medals after that. Don't try to push for the gold medals right away. You honestly are gonna just waste your time, and frustration is your worst enemy in Ein Lacher, because whenever you get frustrated, you start to perform way worse, and you start get tilted, and obviously you just drop this thing and just close it and just be like, to hell with this game, man. Alright, so today we're going to be playing Arisha, even though I'm going to give you also the tips that apply pretty much to every character that will help you maximize your DPS and help with your openings, and make sure that you finish the battle quickly and earn your medals. Let's go! Also, very important information regarding Ein Lacher. Ein Lacher battles are fixed. So the damage there is going to be fixed. Your gear plays no role whatsoever there. The only thing that matters is attack speed. So the more attack speed you have, the better performance you're going to do, because you're going to be better both on offense and defense with the amount of attack speed. So the more you have, the better. You can't use any artifacts, so keep that in mind. You can use your werewolf paw or succubus fang or cat statue, so you will have to adjust to the battle without the artifact. I know it sounds scary and kind of hard, especially if you have the artifact already, but you'll get used to it really quickly. And last thing, as I said, it doesn't matter how much balance you have, how much critical you have, what kind of gear you have. Just go in. Everything is going to be fixed, everything is going to be untouched, and just perform the best you can. This is the testament of how good you know your character, how good you know the bosses, and how well you can mix it both together to perform the best. Whenever you go into Ein Lacher, you don't spend fatigue until you defeat the boss. So whenever you, in the bottom left corner, you can see how many hits you took and how many incapacitations you took. So if you're not, content with the result, with your performance, you can quick retry right away. It doesn't consume fatigue, so don't worry. You can try as many times as you want. Fatigue is only consumed if you defeated the boss. Then, yeah, you will lose it. So whenever you go, let's just talk about in general. Obviously, I can't cover up all the bosses of Ein Lacher for you, because that's a lot, and the video would probably be an hour or 2 long. But I will give you some tips. First of all, whenever you start Ein Lacher and you go into the battle after the cutscene, make sure that you start attacking the boss right away. Because all the bosses, they have this startup animations. As you can see, Aglin the Golem, he doesn't do anything for quite some time, which allows me to deal free DPS right over here. So it's gonna take some time before he starts attacking. So utilize that time to your advantage. Second of all, there are 2 different types of status of the boss, of every boss in Vindictus. The boss either attacks or the boss recovers from the attack. So make sure that whenever you do, whenever the boss attacks, you are just either dodging away or blocking or whatever, and just trying to escape these hits. After the boss is done with his pattern, as you can see, there is slight recovery. This is your time to shine. Don't rush it. Make sure that you just wait for the boss to finish their pattern and then attack. The biggest problem that inexperienced people have with Ein Lacher is that they start attacking at the same time, and as you can see, I started attacking at the same time, and I got hit. You better not do that, and just take your time. There is no rush. When the boss attacks, you have to also pay attention to the startups. See, the wind up, he does this, little preparation. This is your time to shine. And obviously, all the bosses, they don't really have a lot of different types of patterns. So whenever you do the fight that has, with a boss that has, let's say, 6 or 7 patterns, and it's a battle of the day that you can do infinitely, spend some time just trying to memorize what the boss does. What are the patterns that he always do? And once you learn all of them, all the wind-ups, it will be easier to apply it. And it also pairs really good with the tip number 1 that I gave you. Attack on the recovery and use your defense, your dashes, your cartwheels, whatever your character has, whenever they are attacking, to make sure that you don't get hit. Take your time, don't rush it. It's quite easy here. I would recommend, if there is Red Ruins battle in the battle of the day, to try training with this boss, the Null Chieftain. Why? Because he is very slow, and after some of the patterns, he actually is in a very long recovery state that allows you to do an enormous amount of DPS while he's just he doesn't do anything. So make sure that you connect with your attacks and your hard-hitting skills whenever the boss is in the recovery, as I said. Now, there are 2 types of recovery. The first type of recovery is after each pattern, pretty much, but they're they don't stand long there. They don't occur for a long. But some of them, and as you see him tired animation. How much time does it buy us to freely DPS Null Chieftain? Like 5 seconds. So make sure you utilize that to your advantage to kill the boss as fast as possible. And as I told you, Null Chieftain doesn't really have a lot of patterns. It's very easy wind-ups. He's very slow, and you just freely DPS him on every long recovery animation that he does. It's a really nice practice for target dummy practice, pretty much, because this guy literally possesses no threat whatsoever, and you should score a gold medal really easily here. Now, if we would talk about Arisha in particular, spellsword Arisha, Ether Zone is your best tool. It pairs really well with the first tip that I gave you, which is attack on the recovery. Because it allows you to have stamina all the time. And Arisha is almost invincible whenever you just do dash into block, and you can do that as many times as you want. You ain't gonna get hit. So whenever you put the Ether Zone, it will also give you stamina that you're gonna be burning for your dash and block, right? So make sure that you use Ether Zone all the time. Arisha is pretty easy on spellsword for gold Ein Lachers. It took me 3 or 4 hours to get all the golds. So, this character is pretty easy, pretty satisfying to actually farm gold medals for your character. If you are rolling spellsword Arisha, of course, or Arisha in particular, because Whip is a counter-based character, and it actually is way harder to perform with Spell Whip. And here we are, 0 hits, 0 incapacitations. I would get all 4 medals for this guy. So make sure to keep in mind all these hints, all these tricks that, whenever you attack, and attack at the start of the battle as well, and make sure that you don't run out of stamina, because if you run out of stamina, you're going to be defenseless, and you're probably going to get hit a lot. Also, worth mentioning, especially if you play Grimden in Ein Lacher, a lot of bosses tend to have this sneaky, almost unreadable back attacks. So, because Grimden utilizes his most DPS whenever he backstabs the target. Now, a lot of bosses have back attacks, and they're super fast, so it's kind of a gamble there, because you might get hit, and you might get hit a lot. One of the good examples of that would be God of Death's Hell Sweep, or just a sweep, that leg sweep that he does. It's really hard to react to, and it costs you an extra hit. And if you're focusing on the gold medal, you have to make sure, remember, to receive less than 3 hits. Now that we talked about pretty much everything, let's break down real quick. I'm probably gonna get hit there because because I'm explaining and not really focusing much of 2 of the hardest battles in Ein Lacher. That will be Keegan, which is Fate and Destiny, and Iset, the Desert Princess. You see, the thing about Keegan and Iset is that Iset is pretty small, and we're going to talk about her a little bit later. The problem with Keegan is the fact that he teleports a lot, and he has very long strings whenever he attacks. Also, these homing orbs that you have to make sure that you are blocking and dodging, because if you get hit, right? How to defeat Keegan as fast as possible? Use your defense. Take your time. Try not to try not to attack all the time, but spend more time on the defense as much as you can. Because if you rush it, you're gonna make mistakes. His wind-ups are pretty easy to read, actually, especially these orbs. And yeah, right when I said it's easy to read, I got hit by the orbs, obviously. But your best thing over here, as for spellsword arisha, is the Ether Zone, as I said, and make sure that you attack right away when the boss fight starts, obviously. The problem with, as I said, with Keegan is that he has a lot of attacks, a lot of extended attacks in the string, so it kind of feels like he never stops to attack on some point. So it's all about memorizing the patterns. Over here, the stomp, you have to just take distance over here and make sure that whenever he transforms, he becomes even more nasty. He becomes even faster as well. Make sure you don't get hit by the shockwaves as well. Keegan is one of the most frustrating fights, and it will definitely take you some time to actually bring him down. But if you are struggling with him, just leave him for later. Do the other battles that the game offers you in the daily chain, and then once you're done with everything, you can actually try and focus on on Keegan and Iset. This guy really is super nasty, but as I said, they don't have a lot of patterns. 3 to 5 max. So it's all about learning the wind-ups, it's all about the movement and how you utilize your character's strengths. And as I said, and I probably said that a million times, and I will say it again a million times, attack on the recovery of the boss, and whenever the boss attacks, make sure that you're using your defense. And you will defeat them. At least if you're not focusing on the gold medal, Keegan shouldn't be too hard for the silver one. So just not getting incapacitated even once. And finally, Iset. What's so annoying about Iset? A couple of things. First of all, the start. Because you have to go through this little cave and then watch the cutscene, then she disappears, and then you have to chase her down through the bridge. So it takes literally like 1 minute every time you retry this battle. So it's really frustrating, it kind of grows up on you, and all this intro pretty much, it's really annoying. The other problem with Iset is that her model is pretty tiny. She's very tiny, and sometimes you can't even see the wind-ups, and her wind-ups are pretty fast. So this boss is gonna give you a lot of headache, trust me. It gave me a lot of headache as well. Also, there is a couple of tips fighting Iset, and one of the other things that frustrates a lot of people and made them fail Gold Ein Lacher on Iset is the fact that you also have Haven, this giant Sand Guardian, and whenever he does an attack, the camera focuses on him, and you can't even see your character. That's the problem, and this is where you take the hits. So we start the fight. She does this preparation, right? Like intro. She introduces herself. This is our time to shine and do the attacks. Then she starts sending these orbs and stuff. She obviously teleports and attacks right away. So you have to make sure that your reaction is pretty good. Train your reaction. Watch out for all these cone attacks as well. And if you're playing Arisha, you see, we're playing safe, and I'm utilizing Ether Zone as much as I can to make sure I don't run out of stamina, because stamina is gonna be my undoing if I run out of it. Obviously, I got hit because she attacks pretty fast. But what we're looking for here as well, this attack. Havan attacks, and you can see Izet attacking at the same time while it focuses on me. How to counter that? To counter that, make sure that you're just, whenever the camera is on Havan, you keep on dodging and using your defense. So block, dash into block. Make sure you do that all the time, and you will be safe. Make sure that you pre-ether zone as well, so you restore stamina while you're burning it as well, so you don't run out of it. Watch out for the orbs, they leave shockwaves. Watch out for the teleportations, because she attacks right away after she teleports, and the wind up is pretty fast as well. She doesn't really have, as I said, a lot of patterns. The only thing that possesses threat here is when Havan, the camera focuses on Havan, but utilize your defense as well. And this, one of the attacks that Havan can do, he can start puking things out of his mouth and memorize where I'm standing right now. To the right, a little bit to the right from his right hand, this is where none of the projectiles that he's gonna send is gonna hit you. And as you can see, I'm taking my time. Obviously, I don't think I'll be able to actually do it for gold medal, but let's try. Let's give it our best shot over here. Keep on attacking Izet. Utilizing the defense, utilizing the offense whenever she is on recovery. Using Ether Zone all the time, and make sure we lure her over there. Okay, so here it is. She says one thing. She says like a phrase, and then she teleports. You see, he does these projectiles over here, and I stood here, and none of the projectiles even hit me. They weren't even remotely close to me. So make sure you stand right over here, and damn it, we wasted it. We were very close, but just keep in mind all these techniques, all these little hints. I know some of them might be quite obvious, but it actually helps your gameplay as well. And make sure you attack Izet whenever she says something. She has this dialogue, because she's pretty much vulnerable during that. So capitalize and do your damage. And right at the very end, after you guys witnessed some of the gameplay, some of the tricks, some of the things that you have to keep in mind whenever you fight in Ein Lacher, let's go through all the things once again. First, make sure that you start with silver Ein Lachers, because it's way easier and you at least gonna get some boosts from it, which is nice. Once you get better with your character and better know the patterns of the bosses, you can try and get to gold medals after that to receive even more permanent stats. Tip number 2. Whenever you start a battle, make sure that you do some DPS to the boss right away, because they have this intro startups where they don't attack, they don't do anything. So take that time to do some damage, extra damage. Third, make sure that you attack on the recovery. So whenever the boss finished his pattern, attack a little bit and then just wait. Don't rush it. 4. If you happen to get frustrated, stop doing Ein Lacher, leave it for a little bit later, or maybe another day. Frustration affects your performance, and I can tell you it pretty much works in every game, especially competitive PvP games like MOBAs and stuff. Whenever you get frustrated, you start playing worse, and you get even more tilted, so it kind of snowballs, and it's just, it's not good for your health and for mental health. 5th, if you're playing spellsword arisha, make sure that you utilize Ether Zone as much as possible, and make sure that you use the Ether Zone and the boss is always in the Ether Zone, because it gives you a lot of stamina and it allows you to survive better with your dash into block combo that makes Arisha pretty much invincible during that. And with all that in mind, make sure to stay away from the back of the boss, because some of them have back attacks. However, sometimes you can actually deadlock them in turning and do just free DPS while they're just, turning really, really slowly to start a pattern. It kind of helps too. With all that being said, Gold Ein Lacher is something that must be done, and you do it once in your life and then just forget about it. And it also helps you enormously to learn your character better, learn some of the bosses that you're going to meet in the game better as well. And it's a really amazing thing with really amazing rewards. It takes some time, obviously, but it is worth it. Now, I think we've discussed pretty much everything, and if you guys still have some extra questions or anything, please leave it in the comments below. I will obviously, and I will be happy to actually answer some of them. Now let's get to the conclusion and say a final word about this whole thing. So this is it for today, covering Ein Lacher, and gold medals in particular, how to deal with that. You guys, I really hope that you will be able to score some really nice medals from Ein Lacher and get these coveted permanent stats that will, boost your character. It will be really nice to have extra 5 balance and 3 critical on top, plus some attack and the titles. It's really amazing, and it actually helps your improving with your character on both offense and defense. Thank you so much for watching. This was Mr. X / legendarma TV. Guys, you are amazing. I love you all 3000. Make sure to subscribe to YouTube channel. More videos are coming. And I wish you all a happy Halloween. And don't try to get spooky with me again, or I'm gonna get you. Trust. Stay safe. I love you all. I see you later.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door.